So I got one question for you to get started today. Are you ready? Are you ready to build massive momentum in March? Are you ready to make March your biggest month yet? Are you ready to charge forward and make an aggressive vertical move? I guess what I'm asking is, are you ready to make March mad? So the first step that you need to take in order to make March mad, and we want to make March very mad, angry, furious. The way you do that is follow these 5 simple steps to help you outline the month in front of you. The first thing is to follow the system. You know what the acronyms of system mean, right? Save yourself time, energy, and money. Whatever business you're in, there's a system, there's a process flow, there are ways that things are done. Remember, the only place that sales comes before system is in the dictionary. What you need to do is follow the system. I'll give you an analogy. Let's say you're facing the sun, and most people see their shadows, and they try to catch their shadows. You know what's the number one thing you'll learn about trying to chase your shadows? If you're a shadow chaser, you'll never catch the shadow. So all that stuff, the income, the promotions, the lifestyle, all the things that you want, the caviar aspect of entrepreneurship, everybody, most people, are chasing their shadows. The sun is like the system. And whenever you face this system, you face the sun, and you follow the exact steps laid out in your business in advance, a model that's tried, tested, and true, here's the best part. When you face the sun, your shadow is always behind you. And as you walk towards the sun, and the glare gets brighter, and the heat gets hotter, and you're walking in towards the sun, the shadow always follows you, no matter where you go. So what does that mean? Follow your system. Maybe you need a refresher on your manual, on your business format system, what it is that you're looking to get done, and doing that more often. And every business has 3 phases. Number 1, the awkward phase, which everybody goes into. Not just in business, this is in relationships, in friendships, in partnerships. In general, you go through that awkward phase. Just like that baby is learning how to walk and stumbles and tumbles over, they don't quit trying to walk. They don't say, well, walking is overrated, I'm not going to do it. They keep putting in the repetitions. Eventually, that awkward phase goes into phase 2, which is the mechanical phase, where there's some thought, but it's happening as a result of habit. You've done it so many times that you know what the desired outcome and the result is, as you're putting in the action and the behavior to get you there. Number 3, we all strive to get there, is you go from the awkward phase to the mechanical phase, and finally you get to the natural stage. How you become more of a natural in your business is you follow the system repetitively, repeatedly, over and over and over again. And that means you follow your system consistently, constantly, and continuously. The second thing that you need to focus on in order to make March mad is drive invites. What does that mean? You have to invite people to learn about your business, whatever your business is, whether it's retail, it's apparel, it's accounting, it's tech, it's financial services, it's sales. Any kind of business requires you to drive invites. I'm gonna give you an analogy. You ever go to the airport and there's one person in front of the plane, and that's an individual with a bright, reflective construction vest on with these glow markers? What they're doing is they're actually navigating and giving directions for the plane to get to the terminal. They have two simple motions, and here's how it goes. Beep, beep. And what they're doing is they're directing this plane to the terminal. So that's how businesses, what we have to do is be directors of motivation. What we have to do is not just get good at creating traffic, but navigating that traffic in order to get into our business. Everybody has a preliminary point that they start with. It can be a presentation, it can be an orientation, it can be an overview, it can be an interview, it can be all of the above. But that first step, before that first step is taken in the business, you need to drive people, drive invites into your business. And if you can become an expert navigator at listening to people, their needs, their wants, their desires, they're telling you how to close them. They're giving you the ammunition verbally that's needed in order for you to react and respond favorably with things that are important to them. So your goal, system before sales, but also drive an invite before you get to that original presentation. That point of contact is very simple. To take someone from here to over here, which is getting introduced to your business. You have to become a master inviter. It's actually invitations over presentations. Too many people get caught up in the raw, hard metrics of the productivity, but the activity is creating the traffic that you'll convert, but also navigating and directing that traffic that's coming in. You have to get really good at inviting people into your business. And if you want to change the world, if you want to change a community, if you want to change the landscape of entrepreneurship in your industry, here's my advice to you. Start with an invite. The third tip to make March mad is track your progress. Always remember this. You cannot grow what you do not measure. And you're probably in some form of sales. And remember, sales is a numbers game. Sales is a science. Not an exact science, but it's a pure science. It's a contact sport. So what you have to be able to do is follow your system, drive your activity, but also be able to track your progress. If you want to be able to grow those metrics, there's an old saying where attention goes, energy flows, and results show. You want your attention to be on the data that's coming in. So when you drive that activity, what are your percentages? What is your conversion? Listen, if we were playing basketball and both of us were at the free throw line, and my free throw percentage was 80%, and your free throw percentage was 60%, what would happen is if we shot 5 basketballs each, I would get one more in than you. So what that means is I'm tracking my percentages. I'm figuring out the holes in my game. Do I need to have more invites? Do I need to do more presentations? Am I only converting a quarter of the presentations I do? So one of two things I have to identify. A, do I do more presentations? Or B, do I focus on converting more of the presentations I'm already doing? Every business is different. Every person is different. Different strokes for different folks. So you have to figure out what it is that you're looking to grow. And you got to track that. Same way a car has a dashboard, your business has to have a dashboard. Do you have a CRM, which doesn't sound sexy, because a CRM is only as good as the data that's input into it. A lot of people talking about tracking, but do you have the discipline to collect that data? Do you have a platform that collects that data? Because whatever your business you're in, if you think about it, if you're like, I'm a 1 in 10 kind of salesperson, it takes me 10 contacts, whatever that contact looks like, to be able to convert one. Well, now you have your numbers in advance. Just like if Steph Curry knew that he had a certain percentage, shooting percentage at the free throw line, inside the paint and outside of the arc, it's a numbers game. You just run the numbers, okay? So if you get 70% of your shots in outside the arc, if you shoot 10 times, now it may not be exact. You might shoot 10, only get 5. But the next 5 might get you 9, and you average out to 7. It's taking the shots, running the numbers, because sales is a numbers game. You live and die by your numbers like sports athletes. We are entrepreneurial, rhinopreneurial athletes. We excel. We want to be the best in our sport, which is our profession, so you have to track your numbers. The fourth thing that you need to focus on is to be prepared. That sounds so simple, Ali. What do you mean? Well, let me tell you. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. And I'll tell you one more thing. I don't believe in luck, although I'm pretty lucky. I believe that the definition of luck is this: when preparation meets opportunity. So if you're more prepared and you come across more opportunities, the harder you work, I find, the luckier you get. So you have to be able to prepare in advance. I'll give you an example, case in point. Most people start Mondays on Mondays. And it sounds like, well, what's wrong with that? I start the weekday on the first weekday. I'm here to tell you, Monday doesn't start on Monday. Monday starts on the weekend. Same way people think January is this new year, new me. No, it's not. December is. Separation season. It's what you do before the activity gets sprouted, okay? A lot of people look at the end result and they compare their end result to somebody else's end result, but what they did is they were prepared. If you're prepared, come across more opportunities, like one of the Rhino rules that we discussed. When you plan your attack and you attack your plan, what happens is a favorable outcome, which is your desired outcome, is inevitable. And what you also need to do is, I call it, secure the slot. Put things into your calendar. Let your calendar control your day. You know, they say free time with nothing to do is the devil's adversary, because they have all that time, and human beings, because of the way we're wired, it's easier to be negative than positive. So now what you're doing is dwelling on all of the things that you're not doing. Because when you're doing it, you don't have time to think about what you're not doing or you are doing, because you're doing it. So the key is preparation. The real separation is preparation. And the fifth tip to make March mad is be engaged. Don't dare try to get somebody else engaged before you're engaged, because being engaged is the magic recipe. It's a secret formula. Engagement is the step before winning. So what you got to do is you got to focus on getting yourself engaged. Engage yourself before you engage other people. I'll tell you something. Nowadays, it's hard to be engaged because there's so many things that are going on that vie for our attention. So what's the best way to be engaged? Well, I think it's to pre-frame a paradigm shift in how we think. Let me tell you, if you haven't heard this before, you're going to hear from me. Everybody is busy. It's not about being busy. It's about whether or not it's a priority. Are you willing to give attention to your opportunity? See, a lot of people see opportunity, but it's disguised as work with overalls, and a lot of people shy away from it. If you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to be engaged, if you're willing to do all the hard things to show everybody that, hey, I'm not only asking you to do it, but I've already done it and I'm currently doing it, been there, done that, still doing it, that's the magical formula to help your business grow to new heights. The last thing you want to be able to focus on as you're getting engaged, have a quick response time. Don't expect other people to respond quickly to your calls, your messages, your group chats, your emails if you're not willing to do it. One thing I've always said in management, okay? If I'm not willing to do it, I'm not going to ask anybody else to do it. So ask yourself a question. Are you willing to do what you're telling everybody else to do? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Are you willing to get engaged? Are you willing to be the first person to show everybody else, if I can do it, you can do it? So you know what the first sale is? Not a client, not a spouse, not a parent, not the marketplace, is you. You sell you, you engage you, everybody else will follow you in return. So the question becomes, are you ready to make March your biggest month ever? You know, there's 4 quarters in a year, and January, February, March, I think it's the last month of the first quarter of the calendar year that we're in. So a lot of people were loud online, on social media, in December. New year, new me, new goals, new mindset, new beginnings. What have you done? Have you done what you said you're going to do long after the mood that you set it in has left you? Are you ready to finish the 3rd month and final month of Q1 for the calendar year? Are you ready to build massive momentum? Are you ready to make March mad? Are you ready to leapfrog your business into new heights? You take the 5 tips that we talked about and you implement them. It's not about massive action. It's about immediate action. What did you learn today? I'm pretty sure you took a lot of notes, because note takers are money makers. What are you applying that you learned today? Try to identify one thing. Hopefully you learned at least one thing, or maybe I reinforce what you already know. What's one thing that you learned that you can implement immediately to help build your business and make March mad? As always, subscribe to our channel. We're building our community. We have a lot more things coming in the following weeks and months, and I'm excited to go on this journey with you, and I'll see you next Monday for Mindset Monday. Until then, take care and charge forward.